Alright, so this video is going to be about a fully offensive fire set that was released last year in the golden gift boxes, and I've seen it featured on Korban's channel and a couple other channels, but I haven't really featured this set myself, so I'm going to test it out and give my opinion as to whether it's a good fire armor for a fully offensive build, and we're going to see what it does. So I'm just going to switch into the armor. The armor is called the Hexbound Solar Core, and the artwork on this thing is pretty awesome. And okay, so a bit about this set in general, starting with the armor. So the armor, it comes with a skill. It's 225 SP, and it's a weapon-based skill. So basically, the interesting thing about this armor is that it's kind of like a Bloodzerker, but instead of taking HP directly from you every time you attack, what it does is every time when you attack using this armor, it automatically inflicts a burn on your character. So that burn is basically like the equivalent of the HP cost of attacking in a Bloodzerker armor. It's kind of like, so in this sense, it's kind of like an inverse Bloodzerker. So this shield, it's kind of interesting because basically for twice each battle, you can basically transfer whatever burns or whatever bleeds that the enemy has inflicted on you, and you can basically transfer that and just reflect it back to your enemy. So that's kind of interesting. And the weapon, I forgot about the info subs, what the info subs said, but the weapon basically, it's kind of like a blood blade with a built-in plus 20 or plus 25% damage boost. And the interesting thing about this weapon compared to some of the other weapons we've seen that have these built-in damage boosts, either with a blood cost or the cost of making you take more damage, so I'm basically talking about your Blood Blades, your Bloodzerker swords, your Zealot's Wrath, your some of the Frostfall axes, for example, these the Light of Zealotry series of weapons, and a couple others. So the interesting thing about this weapon is it comes with a built-in damage boost, like the other weapons I just mentioned, but the damage it does scales off of your endurance. So the more endurance you have, the more damage this weapon is going to do. Again, I don't know if it's just a built-in damage boost that's kind of like a bonus the more endurance you have, or whether it's kind of like more like say Agony's Embrace, where you need to take a certain amount of damage before you get the full bonus damage boost from the weapon. So so now that we have an overview of this set and what it does, I'm going to try attacking with it and see how much damage it does. So I have my Ramsey pad, I have my Palala Guest, and my Blood Contract, my damage boosting Misk. So yeah, let's give it a go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that was about 1,200 damage, and since I have maxed out endurance, I think I'm getting the full boost from the set's weapon. So let's give it another go. So that was another 1,100 damage. And okay, so far at least against the CPT, this armor is doing fairly consistent 1,000 to 1,200 damage per turn. And let's see if we transfer the... let's click on the shield and see what it does. So as you can see, this is the CPT, so he doesn't really have resistances to any of these status effects. So I'm just going to skip a turn to see how much damage the burn does. And it's quick cast, as you can see. It doesn't take up a turn. So how much was that? That was not very impressive. I think that was less than 100 damage. So let's try it again. And let's try it again. So, and apparently if he's still burning, I can't click the shield again. So this is not a stacking burn, or is it? So we're going to try it again. So 153. Okay, so that was a bit more of a, that was a bit more damage. And so burn, so just now I was able to inflict the burn on him again, but the power level isn't very high, and you can only use this effect from the shield twice every battle. So let's now switch into our ice weapon, our ice axe, and see if it does about the same amount of damage. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, oops! I got the wrong booster pet, so I should be using Chili instead. So Chili. All right, so that was another 1,000 damage or around that. And next we're gonna try the actually let me just attack one more turn. And let's see. Yeah, so that was another 1,000 damage or so. And so next we're gonna try the weapon-based skill from this armor. And since I'm already equipping a weapon with a damage boost, let's see how it does. Okay, so that was actually some pretty decent damage. That was over 3,000. So the damage from this weapon-based skill, Prominence Ransom, for its cost of 225 SP does seem to be pretty decent. But next we're gonna try this armor against something with more of a damage cap. So we're just going to come back to our old friend Tibbles, and we will see. All right, so I'm just gonna go through my pretty standard sequence of buffs. And yeah, so we'll see how this armor does against an actual monster, against an actual boss. All right, so I'm just going to change back to the weapon. Yeah. Okay, so since he has a damage cap, we did about 900 damage maybe, and we're going to try it again. And so 1, 2, 3. So that was another 800 damage or so. And I'm just gonna switch back to my Chili to see if to just try out another weapon. And we're gonna try the shield on him. So he has a I don't know how much of a boss boost he has, but all right. So Unfortunately, I think he has a built-in boss boost. Unfortunately, I don't know how much it is, if it's plus 20, plus 30, plus 40, I have no idea. But he was able to resist my shield's attempt at transferring my burn onto him. So, all right, so that's another about 800 damage or so. And next we're gonna try the we're just gonna try the skill on Tibbles. And wait, just let me yeah, we can't stun him, so all right, so that was another 880, 890 damage, which is kind of underwhelming, to be honest, because especially considering how he has a fairly high damage cap. So the skill is only 2 hits, and so that was another, well, only 720 damage or so. So that wasn't too impressive, to be honest. So let's just try one more time. So yeah, I can't say I am very impressed, and we die. So I think we already have an idea of how good this set is. So is this set worth getting? Is this set worth spending? Well, starting with the armor, is it worth spending an ultra rare on the armor? Unfortunately, my answer to that would have to be a no, because this armor, it's not as strong as some of the other fire armors in the game. It's not as strong as your Blazing Bloodzerker. It's not as strong as your Tyrannosaurus Rex, and of course it's not as strong as, well, your Akraloth's Wrath if you spend $50. And so basically, its normal attack, it kind of tries to be a weaker version of a Bloodzerker, but since we already have a Fire Bloodzerker, I really think there isn't a point in getting this armor. The weapon-based skill, I mean, yeah, for its cost, it does pretty decent damage, but why would I, like, what does its skill have over just straight up spamming attack with your Blazing Bloodzerker, or using the skill from T-Rex Rider, which is 8 hits, by the way, and since it's 8 hits, it's much better at dealing with those pesky damage caps that so many bosses these days have. They have all these damage caps, whereas this thing's skill is only 2 hits, which, as you saw just now, just really gives it a major handicap against anything with at least a moderate kind of damage cap. So, and also furthermore, if you're a warrior, or if you're a hybrid, as I'm sure many of us already know, Bloodzerkers, they're able to synergize with a bunch of weapons apart from just attacking with the Bloodzerker swords. For example, they have the synergy with Zaburo's hammer if you're a hybrid or a warrior, which is a 4-hit skill. And if you're a mage, then, as you've seen in some of my previous videos, Bloodzerkers are also able to make use of their synergy with Card of Hearts, which basically gives them 5 hits and is the best way for you to deal with any kind of damage cap in a Bloodzerker armor. So this armor and this set, they really have nothing over the other FO fire armors that are already in the game. So my opinion of this set, I mean, some other players, some of you out there in the community, you've said pretty good things about this set. You probably have a better opinion of it than I do, but my personal opinion of the Hexbound set is that it is not worth spending a UR GGB on the armor, and you're better off just getting Blazing Bloodzerker, or if you, it's not in the LTS right now, or if you already have Tyrannosaurus Rex Rider, then use that instead. Or if you're willing to spend $50, then Akraloth's Wrath is pretty good. And also, I want to mention, for what it does, if you need a source of fire damage to deal with like damage caps and all that, then another option is to use Fireball Z in a spellcaster armor. So I'm talking about your Necromancer with the spellcaster lean, or Ice Necro Cavalry, or your Dreamweaver armor. So any armor with a spellcaster lean, combo that with Fireball Z. That gives you a very good source of fire damage against anything with a pretty high damage cap. So yeah, so the artwork on this armor is pretty cool, but that's about it. So as for the actual utility of the armor and the set, I think it's pretty poor. The burn doesn't do a lot of damage either, the burn from the shield. So yeah, I would say just, again, I know some of you out there, you have a better opinion of this set, but I would say if you want to spend a UR GGB on a fire armor, definitely get Blazing Bloodzerker over this. And if you want to spend like real money, like actual cash on a good fire armor, then get Akraloth's Hatred. Get the Akraloth weapon, which compresses the armor. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's my review. That's my me giving my opinion of this set, and I would say it's pretty disappointing. It's not all that useful for like just gameplay these days. So yeah, just stick to the other fire armors I mentioned, and just don't waste an ultra rare on this armor. So yeah, that's all for today, and I'll see you soon.